website. If you want to make it, then they can see it as well.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. So, actually, from where you're at, it's probably the best spot.
Oh, is it?
See, look how handsome you are.
Yeah, I'm on my good side.
So yeah, so go ahead and introduce yourself.
So my name's Lucky. My wife Caroline here. We started this, well, we had a thought. Me and my wife, currently was taking care of my mom for a while. She passed away a year and a half ago. We were out in LA one day at my daughter's tournament, soccer tournament. And, my wife, my mom FaceTimed me. And, she had like a split on her eye. So she took out the garbage, fell over. She doesn't have to take out the garbage. She just wanted to take out the garbage. And so I'm telling her what's going on. I'm panicking, you know, a neighbor picked her up, brought her home. And, it just triggered something in me that, you know, maybe more older people, you know, need help with assisting, you know, taking out the garbage bins, little things like that. So I wanted to just flat out help people, right? And found out that that's hard to do. We're just gonna offer it as a free service. But I believe everybody thinks you have your hand out, you know, so we're actually pitching it to like older folks' homes and things like that. Knocking on regular people's houses, asking if they needed, you know, some kind of assistance, maybe for a small minimal fee. Ran into nobody. So one day on Facebook, somebody posts and tags me and says, "Oh, this guy's starting a business, you know, he can help you out. This is for a short-term rental." And the lady's like, "Where have you been? You know, we're looking for cleaners and, you know, people to take our neighbors and things like that to take out our bins. You know, maybe you can help us out." So I said, "Oh yeah, I'll help you guys out. You know, one day, take it out on Friday, take it back Saturday." So we did these two houses for a month. Charged them, at the time, it was $30 that a month. And then all of a sudden, it was just seeming like one after another, word got out, one, you know. So now we're up to about 45, 50 houses. And, yeah, and it's been basically good for people who need it. And, we basically offer a service where we take out your trash bin and the day before for it to be serviced. And then after it's serviced, we take it back in. For us, we don't do that because we have teenagers who don't pay rent. And so like that just comes along with the deal, you know what I mean? So, yeah, so, you know, they don't do that. We service other people's house, but we don't do our own home. Because of the fact that, yeah, the kids have to put in something. But in all seriousness, we thought that this was like just, it wasn't gonna hit, you know, it was just like basically for the elders, and we still want to eventually go that route. But right now, we found out that you either want this service as a short-term rental or you don't. We have a client that moved to Henderson so he can be closer to his properties. To me, if you're gonna change your whole lifestyle so you can be close to your properties, I mean, to each his own. But maybe we can alleviate some of that from you guys, you know what I mean, or from anybody that has any short-term rental or midterm, whatever it is. And for a minimal fee, right now we charge $55 a month. And because I found out at $30 a month, all I'm doing is paying Chevron, you know, and it's just not making any money, you know, so that's where we're at right now, you know. We're hoping that you know, we can get connected with other property managers or people like yourself, you know. And so I didn't say thank you to Stephanie, thank you for inviting me, you know. My whole family wanted to come, you know, so we didn't know what it was. Me and my wife, we currently pastor a church. And hence the trying to help people and just do it. And we found out, man, that this was a blessing, you know, and we believe that it can be established in Henderson, eventually taken out somewhere else. And we have a crew of about 4, 5 people right now, partners of mine who are in different parts of the city that can service it. And thank goodness we've been in business for like 6 months. And in 6 months, we've 0 complaints, you know, basically, going over and above, you know, there's garbage outside, we tend to clean up the area, none of that stuff's added on. Republic Services, they keep it interesting, for you guys probably that know that, they keep it interesting, they service homes up to like 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. And so I'm getting those phone calls from a couple clients saying, "Hey, we're looking at our camera. We noticed that our trash wasn't taken in. And I said, go ahead and keep looking at that camera and notice that Republic Services didn't take your trash either, you know what I mean? So that's the type of stuff that we're dealing with, but we have no say so with Republic Service. Eventually, we would love to partner with them, but right now, that's where we're at, you know, so. But that's just where, we're at right now, you know? I feel like if the more we connect, the more the price would be a lot better, as if we get the Henderson area majority, so it could be just in that same district, but other than that, you know, that's pretty much in a nutshell what we do.
And then you guys also offer like bin cleaning, right?
Yes, eventually we're gonna get that going. We're planning, the
Okay.
target date is the beginning of April.
Okay.
So for all the services, yeah, we're currently right now in the process of purchasing one of the bin trucks where we can just put it in, shake it up, clean it, bring it out, instead of grabbing the hose, hooking it up to the person's property,
Yeah,
have water
We're
all
getting
over
a
the
pressure
neighborhood.
washer.
Pretty much,
Right.
yeah, so, and the timing of that, so we're just making sure that when we offer that, we eventually wanna, you know, put that as part of the service fee, that every 6 weeks you just get that included. But for the meantime, we're probably most likely gonna charge a little bit, you know, for each bin. you know,
Yeah.
So we haven't obviously ran through all the kinks, like some houses have 2 bins. You know, we currently have a short-term rental that has 9 garbage bins,
Oh, my.
yeah, 9.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
The maximum Republic allows me is 5.
right.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
got 4 or 5 at
Yeah.
most of my properties.
Yeah, we have one on Davis, right, and it's 9, you
Yeah.
know, and they're all full all the time, so I don't know what kind of, you know, but anyway. But yeah, so like, you know, sometimes I'm hoping I can get away with just 2, 3 bins pull out, yeah, it's 9. So, but like, I'm just finding out all these things about Republic Services and things like that, so in our control, we come the day before, take your bin out. Day after service, we take it back in, so,
All right, I have a couple of questions.
yes, sir.
So, obviously, let's start with this. You need a high pressure to clean garbage bins. 'Cause
Yeah.
your spray nozzle with your hose doesn't quite cut it.
Yeah.
What do you do for houses that keep their bins inside the garage?
Oh, they give us the access code. We have a couple
What if
houses.
there's no keypad on there?
Oh, also, we have a couple people that put like bike locks on the gate, and they just give us the code just to kind of open that padlock. But we have people that like in the Henderson area, I think we have like 3 houses that give us the garage code where it goes in the garage, and then if it's on the side, they usually give like a peep.
Okay, so I have 3
Yeah,
homes.
You can give him a garage opener.
Yeah, that doesn't work either.
Oh,
But
So
I've tried, I've only been able to have 2 openers per door.
mm.
I've tried to
mean
get 3 on the
programming
door
more? Oh,
to
really?
get one to my housekeepers, and I can't get a 3rd one to work.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
So, and 2 of the houses do not have keypads. Only one of my houses has keypads.
They're not that
on the
expensive to
door.
install.
So.
Yeah.
So I have 2 houses on the same block. They're just about 5 houses away from each other.
nice.
And then another one is just a few blocks away, so if I signed up with all 3 homes, is it still $55 a month for all 3? Or
Right,
would
right.
there be a little discount? involved
Yeah, of
there?
course, yeah, like, of course, you know, so we could definitely work that out. Like I said, right now, working out the prices. There are some people that offered, we had one contract at 17, another one at 14. And so they were like, if you give us 10 houses, or if we get 10 houses, the 11th is free. But we're finding out that was because it was on Decatur and Jones and Henderson and Summerlin. So if you're saying it's 3 in that same area, there's no way I'm gonna charge you full price for that. Yeah.
2 are on the same block and another one's just a few blocks away.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, not at all.
Okay.
And most likely I'll be in your area anyway. So like, that's what I said. So I'm taking all that into consideration. You know, if you would talk to me about 2 months ago, no, 55. You know what I mean? But now, like, yeah,
well, hey, we're in business for one
yeah,
reason.
yeah, you're right. Yeah,
One reason.
come on, yeah. So, but I could definitely work
So
with
do it
that.
with a car or you have a bike?
Yeah, I have a car. Yeah, I have a car. And so that's the challenge for us
Oh,
right
yeah.
now. Yeah.
I'll be
looking
honest with
into-
you, Lucky, when you called me, I was very skeptical.
Hmm.
I'm kind of shooting in my leg right now, but I think $50. I'm in the business for a while and
Yeah.
it's a very good price.
Yeah,
And I'm not,
Yeah,
you
it's
know,
like
and I
11
don't,
bucks a
I know,
week.
and I don't wanna start to work with somebody and within 6, 7 months, and then you'll see it's not, you're not making money and
I know.
you're not gonna do it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
and I felt, it was unfortunate. So the first two houses that I had were on a cul-de-sac. So when she said, can I give you, $30? I was just doing it as a favor. And so I said, hey, if you just $30 and give me $10 for other bins, so she's giving me $39.99. It was real technical, man. And so, it was just too difficult. So now I'm going there and then I had to tell her, I can't, I gotta be honest with you, I can't do it. So I went from 29 to 45 each. So that was kind of a big increase for her.
Yeah.
So I felt bad, but it was kind of loyal because it was first two. But now I set it at 55 because if there's some wiggle room there, which I believe there is because of the distance, this is long-term. I can see me
Yeah.
doing this and actually getting like employees to do it. So I got a partner who like, this guy's like, he invested, man. He's a great guy, right? So, and then I got, free labor. I got older kids, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like with those two that can help me out right now as we start the business, we can actually get it to the point where it starts to,
Yeah.
yeah, because I don't want to promise that and say, yeah, Aaron, sorry, man. Hey, I'm out, I mean,
Yeah.
it's too hot, or whatever, I can't make money. But that's what we've seen it in the 6 months and I know we haven't seen anything yet. But that's what we prepared for. That's why I set it at 55, honestly, you know what I mean? So, because I feel like it's real fair. You go into each house, no matter how close they are,
Mhm.
you're going to each house 8 times a
Yeah.
month, and yeah, and on top of that, the gas, and then people say, well, get an electric car, we'll buy me one. You know what I mean? Because I don't have one yet, you know what I mean? So like it's like, so where I'm at today, I have a vehicle that takes a lot of gas, and so I'm looking into that. And so that's part of the getting to that next level.
I have a question.
Yeah.
There are some times when our bins get full before trash day comes. Do you guys, or will you guys offer a service where you'll empty them before trash day?
You know what? I'm currently having it on the list with to work with haulers, because when you tell people you take out trash, immediately they don't think you're rolling out their bins.
Yeah, they think
you're
it's like
hauling.
the big,
Yeah, so they're sending me
the
pictures of
bulk
like
trash.
16 bags and a couch, how much for this? And I'm like, huh? I'd be like, what is this, offer up? You know what I mean? So I'm like, oh, no, I roll out your bin and I put your bin back. So now, I don't know if it's a light bulb or common sense, but I started thinking I gotta connect with a hauler and then start to have them, eventually before I can do my own. But yeah, I know handyman. I don't think none worthy of reference, not like that.
Well,
but-
I have my
Yeah.
maintenance guys do it right now,
Yeah.
but I'd rather them not be hauling out trash and doing other things that need
Yeah.
to do, and then have a trash guy
Yeah.
do it, and it's not. I think it's harder in the summer for whatever reason. I don't
Yeah,
know, like,
stinks.
it
Stinks much more.
smells, and so.
Yeah.
And I think people like barbecue more and stuff like that
Yeah.
too, so there's a lot more trash, but
Yeah.
yeah, sometimes we do need those bins emptied out before trash day, so.
We've had one situation with one home that filled up pretty quick, so the only thing we did was just get Republic Services to get another bin, because they were having that on a repeated, so.
They needed a 10th bin.
Yeah, right. They needed that 10th bin, but it was like, that was the only thing that I helped like haul and make sure that was in that. But
Yeah.
yeah, as far as like, that's something I'm definitely gonna consider. Oh, yeah, and I'm currently in the process of working with this app called Breezeway. I don't know if you guys
Yeah.
are familiar with that, but that I just met with the VP, got him, because it's a lot more cleaner, easier.
Yeah,
Because right now I'm literally, Stephanie, can you get your email? I'm
Yeah.
CCing myself, putting your address, typo, misspelling your name, so it's just like things like that, instead of just click, picture, everything's back in place. You can
Yeah.
see peace of mind. So, but we're currently in the process.
Even properties that we went to where their house was like vandalized or, there was a rock, we
Yeah.
contact them as well and let them know, well,
Yeah.
your house was vandalized. And
Yeah.
they appreciate that too, so.
I mean, people, because they assume that like I'm with, I'm with the house, so, it's okay. So when I come up to, man, what's going on, man? You guys haven't responded back to my call, I'm saying, oh, man, I'm sorry. You know what I mean? I'm just right away, hey, man, these guys want you to respond back, you know what I mean? So just things like that, just being eyes and ears, but, like I said, I'm not saying it because I'm trying to get no points of saying we're pastors, but, just having a servant's kind of heart, like helping and not, that's the approach. I don't know if that still goes a long way today, you know what I mean? Cause customer service to me is like exited, you know? But it's just, I believe still customer service is huge, you know, it represents, so I understand that I'm not like, you know, necessarily like partners with you guys, but I'm a reflection in some kind of way, you know, so I don't wanna be putting up music loud and, you know what I mean, just dragging your stuff, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like there's a proper way of doing things.
Yeah, I mean, it's been interesting with, the properties that I manage and figuring out, what's the best way of how to pull them out. Like, sometimes we have guests do it, sometimes, guests complain, and also like if they're full already with other guest stuff, you don't want to make a new guest
Yeah.
pull out the bins, like
Yeah.
things like that. Or, I do have a couple of neighbors that, offer to pull them out for us, but it's nice to have someone like you, who I've been looking for a very long time, to try and just have a little more uniformed
Mhm.
Yeah.
process, because there's not always people at the house, or there's not always, this or that or whatever, so.
Yeah. That's what we kind of want to keep it as. I remember, I don't know if you guys ever ate at a place called Baby Stacks.
Mhm.
So they only seat like maybe 30, 40, if that. And I remember telling my brother who visited and saying, man, these pancakes are really good, and I told him they have just such a long line. I wish they would open up bigger. And then my brother brought up to my understanding, said if they made it bigger, then they would have to rush and not necessarily the taste would be there. So some things you don't want to like, oh, we're gonna do hauling, we're gonna do a bin wash, we're gonna do, because then all of a sudden something gets compromised, right? So
Start with the basic, make it work and.
we're just,
Never grow
yeah,
too fast.
yeah. So we're your guy, we're gonna guarantee your bin's gonna be out for service and back in after it's done. Not the end, but like dot. You know what I mean? So, and still it's like growing, but this is what, because I'm finding out like people are asking for neighbors, right? Neighbors to do
Yeah.
it. Most of the neighbors that I've talked to, I don't know if they give a different report, but they're not highly fond of the person that, what I mean, like their kids are getting teased at by people that are throwing parties, their dogs are irritated. So they're always looking for stuff to like, hey, who's the owner now or who's in charge now? So I'm getting a lot of that. And then people are waiting, taking pictures of me, taking out the bins. And so with that, why not just alleviate that? Because I'm finding out when they find out I'm the guy who's taking out the trash, they also give you the little extra so I can relay that back. Probably it's getting relayed most likely, but I'm just finding out that it's a lot more beneficial. I think trying to coordinate with your cleaners, and you guys know better than me, but coordinate with your cleaners, to like your whole basis of your property. I would believe the object of that property is to get that thing occupied, right? Not wait till a cleaner comes so you can, or ask the guy who's on vacation, hey, do you mind if I'm gonna charge you full price, but can you still haul out my garbage to save me some money? You know what I mean? So it's like, if $55 a house, and I say this with all due respect, if $55 a house is going to break you, then maybe you're in the wrong business. You know what I mean? Because, people are like, oh, yeah, well, man, $30, like, oh, no, man, because we're not making that much, then maybe it's enough for you, but because this shouldn't make you or break you. It should be just part of the expense, So I'm getting a lot of checks in the mail from property managers. I don't know how they're doing it. They're giving that to, for the property manager to pay. But I don't know, but somehow, some way, it'll
Yeah,
pay
you
for
can usually
itself.
build it, you can build it into the cleaning fee.
Think,
I mean,
did
you have
Jim,
a little cushion.
Yeah.
yeah, I think Jim said it earlier, after you make this amount of money, but after you count the brain damage, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like, do you want to like every week factor in who's gonna take garbage out? Like use that brain cell for something else and just send the 55 and I got you. You know what I mean? So it's like, but other than that, we're here to do this thing for hopefully in a greater way, so,
All right,
yeah,
Lucky, I think you're onto a good thing.
thank you.
for sure.
And give me a call tomorrow.
Okay,
I think there's a way I can help you.
thank you,
So,
thank you. Make sure I get your number.
Yeah.
Thanks so much.
It's not every guest leaves on trash day,
Yeah, yeah.
but I asked my guests, it's in the contract, the agreement, that they must take out the garbage on trash day
Mhm.
or the night before.
I have that too in mind, but they don't always, I mean, we.
we also tell them
remind
not to
sometimes.
smoke and
Yeah,
Yeah.
not to bite,
Most
poop in the.
most do, most do. In fact, the majority does unless unless they're not,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
they're not leaving on a trash day.
Yeah.
Cause they'll ask, should we take out the garbage, you know, and it's Monday and trash day is Thursday, going, no,
Yeah.
you know, we'll take care of it.
No, we used to ask the guests, but, you know, what, since, like, I wanna say it's probably about 6 months now, you know, with all the Facebooks, people are complaining, you know, about the hosts of Airbnb are asking us so many things to do, they ask us to clean, they ask us, so I
Go
dropped it.
somewhere else,
No, I dropped it,
go
you know.
somewhere else, there's plenty of business.
Yeah.
People are gonna complain. I had a guy that he booked, did his instant booking. And then I sent him the agreement and he sent me back the information sheet because I asked for the full names of everybody coming.
Hmm.
And then he sent back the information sheet with his name and then he put down, he was coming like with 3 or 4 other guys. Bob, Joe, Ted, and I sent it back, I said, I need to know who's in the house. I need last names, I need full names. He says, I'm not comfortable giving you the names. And I said, cancel your reservation immediately.
Oh, really?
No, I just not gonna deal with that. So you're not gonna, I need to know. We're under strict guidelines by the city. I need to know who's in my house. And if you're not comfortable with that, neither am I. Cancel immediately.
Yeah, nice.
And I said, by the way, I belong to an organization of short-term rental owners. And I said, I'm gonna put your name and I hope you got my email when I sent that out. And he got pissed. I'm saying, no, I'm just telling my colleagues that they might not appreciate your business. Simple as that. So that,
What do we do with you, Mike?
so ain't screwing around. I've been doing this too long. Somebody else will.
Well, Lucky, thank you for coming,
No, thank
and we'll be in touch.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
You're on the- you're on the good thing.
Thank you.
Thank
Good
you.
luck.
Yeah,
Lackey, well, that's a good name.
yeah, I'm telling you,
Put a U in there, will ya?
yeah. I know for real. It ends up to be lucky.
You.
Ends up to be lucky.
That's what
Yeah.
it sounds like when you say your name.
I do.
It's like-
It's funny when people ask my name, I spell it, you know, because it ends up to be lucky. Not that I mind, but yeah, I appreciate your time, you guys.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so
Thank
much for
you
this
very
time.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll be in touch.
Thank you.
I'm gonna go that way.
Okay, awesome. Stephanie, thank you so much.
Yeah,
Thank
nice to
you.
meet you.
Thank
Thank you.
Take care, guys. Mike, thank you, man.
Good
Yeah,
luck.
Good to see you guys.
Yeah, we'll be in touch.
Yes, sir.
Did anybody log in on Zoom?
No, no one loves us.
Boy,
Well, in a
What
company.
were you looking at that you said to add to you?
his name is L-A-K-I. And I said, switch
L-A-K-I,
Lackey.
lucky. It sounds like you're saying lucky. I'm like, you are
Yeah,
lucky.
Just switch the A for a U and it's
Yeah.
golden.
Aaron, how many properties do you manage now?
Almost 30.
Okay.
Hopefully 50 by the end of the year, I hope so. We actually stopped accepting clients, but we're organizing all the systems.
Yeah.
You know, it became a little bit of a headache.
And these are midterm and short term?
No, just short term.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's awesome.
No wonder when I send out a message, yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, are you using Hostaway to manage all your,
Yeah. I
Yeah.
do host away and we used Guesty at the beginning and we moved to host away. I want to say probably the best, mainly for accounting. I think that's the main reason. You're also using host away, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guessing's just too expensive and
Also, yeah, it's
just, I
expensive.
don't think it
and-
was worth it for,
And financially, it was such a headache to get the reports to home office.
oh, really?
Yeah. But, all my midterms, I sent to you.
I know,
Yeah.
so I've gotten some actually.
Yeah,
How are you advertising midterm?
How am I advertising for
Yeah.
them? So I'm using like, the same platforms and the MLS, and I've actually started contacting like insurance adjusters, just doing the old school thing, cold calling and remediation companies.
Yeah,
And I'm actually gonna start an email campaign for real estate agents too. So anybody, because there are lots of agents that work with clients that, need placement for their clients for like a month or two while they're looking for a house or whatever the case, so. So yeah, I'm back to the grind, doing cold calling and stuff like that, so.
Well, I'm
It's hard
trying to-
finding. It's hard, there's no one real good way to do midterm rentals, which is why I think a lot of property managers just don't wanna touch it. It's a lot of extra work, but.
And I think, the market is so competitive because. so many-
Saturated.
Yeah, so many people get, a fine or a letter, and then, should I
Yeah,
sell all my furniture or should I try midterm,
Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of short terms are converting.
Yeah, because they can't
Yeah.
do any
Yeah.
Airbnb anymore.
yeah,
And then you get, idiots from California that buy something and furnish it and then decide to call somebody to manage
Yeah,
it.
it happens a lot. So,
yeah, I've gotten those clients too.
Yeah,
I found out I can't
they call you,
do a
they
short
wanna
term
know your
rental, I'm like,
percentage, what do you charge, but they,
right,
are you licensed or,
Yeah.
we can do it? Oh,
yeah, interesting.
License? What's
people are
that?
so weird, yeah.
Well, I put one of mine on Furnished Finder,
yeah,
and I've had a few hits.
I think Furnish Finder, just from my experience, I feel like the condos that I have do a lot better than single family homes.
Yeah, the budget is low for,
The budget's
Wow.
lower and the clientele, like they're looking for a room or two rooms, not,
It's usually
whole
traveling
house.
nurses
yeah,
and they don't want a whole house.
right,
So even if you had a midterm house and you got 4 bedrooms, they're not gonna rent the whole place. So now you have to,
or they want it for like $2,000 or
Yeah.
something insanely.
now you're gonna have to rent every room. So now instead of one contract with an insurance company or remediation, now you have 4 separate contracts for the individual rooms with nurses. Yeah, you might be able to make it, but I mean, 900 to 1,000. Cause I have a lot of friends who are nurses, traveling nurses, and they say, if it's a nice room, nice house, I'll pay up to 1,000 a room, cause they get paid well, but that's usually the primary. And the other ones, so you can't charge 1,000, so the other ones are 900, so. You're making 4,000 a month. I mean, and they're not all coming in at the same time. Their contracts are staggered, and so I don't know if I would actually do traveling nurses. I would actually go to a
No,
hospital.
Your house, no.
Yeah, I'd actually go to a hospital and, or there's companies who actually place nurses and have them rent it out. And then they can put their traveling nurses in. So now you're going straight to the company and not having to deal with the individual.
Yeah,
That's what I would do.
You guys need a hockey player, football player, to stay at your house for like 6, 7 months until they find a permanent home.
Well, we did have a football player for, they filmed a Super Bowl commercial.
Ah, really? Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's so pretty, your house is so pretty.
Yeah,
Jason Kelsey.
Jason Kelsey,
Ah,
Travis's
really?
brother from the Eagles, came in and did a Frank's
Nice.
Hot Sauce commercial.
Ah,
He
cool.
did 2 of them.
did you meet him?
No, it was a production beyond productions. There was probably 44 people. We had people flying in from Minnesota. Majority of the crew was from Hollywood. And they all came in and, I mean, it's just, they had 4 tents in the backyard just for picnic tables and a buffet. So they could do it.
okay.
We didn't have enough bathrooms, so they brought
They
in
went to your neighbor?
porta potty.
Yeah, it's on their door.
Porta potties, I mean, came, the big ones with the 3 just on the back of a trailer.
Oh, my lord.
Yeah, I mean, it was a huge production.
Wow.
Well, it was a small one. Unlike-
For them, for us,
Yeah.
for the house,
For a
it's the biggest
30-second
production
spot.
we've had there. It's pretty cool.
Now, now, isn't there a website for that kind of,
Yeah.
Pure space.
Pure space.
is that how you got it?
That's how we got it. We've had ESPN do a
Geekster also.
30
You
for
do
30.
Geekster?
Pure space.
And you said Pure
We,
Space and
yeah, we
Geekster.
put, I don't like gigs
No?
though. I don't get a good feel from
Oh,
gigs.
really?
It just seems like, hey, have your party
Ah,
here.
yeah.
That's how they advertise kind of.
Now, we want higher quality
People.
We don't want parties.
No, of course.
We want companies who have their own insurance, who they come in at the time they say, they leave when they say. There's no dilly dallying around. I mean, it's like, boom, boom. They're very professional. So, yeah,
Yeah, very professional, like no wear and tear, like barely
It's-
anything.
yeah, they have a cleanup crew that come up, or maybe
They
it's their
leave it like they
employees.
found it.
You walked out, you go, okay, there's a few footprints, but other than that,
Wow.
you're like, wow, this is crazy.
Nice. No, this is good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Very
this
good,
is
yeah.
really good, yeah.
Yeah.
Peer space.
I mean, it's, for us, it's good. We just got to a point where we actually have 20 5-star reviews, and we became a, what do they call it, super host?
Power host.
Oh,
Power,
Yeah, which
power
is the same
host,
thing.
which is puts you up at the top where.
Right.
Yeah, we're the number 2 or number 3. There's a house called Casablanca, and I think, well, I know why they get it, because they allow up to 40 people. And we did that one just for the exception, so we could say we had a Super Bowl.
No, we do it for
Commercial.
the money.
We did it for the money.
Well,
Just
there's
give them- Yeah, there's that, and then, but on average, we do no more than 20 people
Yeah,
at our house.
yeah, and we charge extra for that too, so.
Yeah,
We don't want a lot of people, we don't want a lot of cars.
Yeah.
yeah. So up to,
Apparently that one neighbor of yours is
Yeah.
so accommodating.
yeah, but it's good. I mean,
You know, I heard in Henderson, you're not allowed to do that, because we wanted to do it, peer space.
Oh, you can't do it in Henderson?
At least the pool thing, I know, you're not, because
Oh,
I,
Swimply?
yeah, but
yeah.
yeah, so, they have some issue there with,
well, that's a party.
not necessarily, but yeah, no, not, even if you limit the amount of people, but, yeah.
Yeah, but they're not there to make money for production. They're there to.
No,
have
no,
a good
production is
time
great,
and
yeah, for
drink.
sure.
And we're like, most people, unless it's some kind of cooking show and they have wine or something, it's not like everybody's getting hammered and barbecuing and jumping in the pool.
Yeah.
You know, everybody's slipping and falling and stuff. So that's why we just, anybody said, my buddy goes, hey, my buddy's having a birthday party for his girl. I'm like,
No.
next,
Yeah,
Yeah.
don't even ask.
yeah. A bachelor party.
Red flag, immediate
Yeah.
red flag,
Nope.
yeah.
Won't even, I don't care if I'm charging you 300, it's not worth it.
Yeah, the verbiage tells you immediately,
Yeah.
right?
Well, he's been over there for a party that we hosted personally, and I think it was a birthday party or something I think it was my birthday party. I don't remember what it was.
Barbecue, yeah.
Yeah, and so he knew that I had that house, and I'm like, no. He goes, only companies? I go, yeah. Yeah, only companies. You have to have your own insurance, blah, 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 blah. I want to see your articles of incorporation. I'm like, he's like, okay, I'll just tell him. I said, just go in Pear Space. There's a whole bunch of houses that'll accommodate for that. We don't.
How many do you think is listed on that Vegas houses on Space?
Oh, there's a lot. Because there's different there's some really cool stuff like down in the arts district and stuff. You can rent a whole like
Yeah, they
arts
have like,
place to
they have
do.
photo studios, they have like the photo shoot, they have the meetings. So people rent out their offices or like a conference room like this, you can rent, or you can do events.
That's what we do, and sometimes when we have guests, they say, well, they wanna do an event, not like a bachelor party, but they say, hey, we have a company, we're coming to town, so I said, yeah, you stay in the house and go to Peer Space, well. A lot of people don't know about it. It's really
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Did anyone hear any news about the licensing in unincorporated? Did you, any?
It's still on pause.
Yeah, that's
They're just,
Nothing.
I think the county is just purposely holding off right now and using the lawsuit as an excuse for why they're not handing out permits right now.
But I mean, what does it give them? I mean,
It just,
I don't think they
because
know what
right
they're doing.
now,
And-
they're
and
still
in their
sending out
opinion-
letters like for people who are running their short-term rentals when they're technically not supposed to right now.
I have a, owner that told me that he called them, and they told him that after Super Bowl, they're gonna send letters to all the people that are not gonna get licensed, and then they're gonna start on inspections. Super Bowl is passed, I don't see in any group, anyone.
Yeah.
doing-
No,
Why do they wait until after Super
I
Bowl?
don't know.
Maybe they're trying to wait to get more addresses of
Mm,
license violation.
more complaints.
Cause that's what they've been trying to do this whole time is collect
yeah,
addresses.
But people closing,
so they
people
can-
open, you know.
Biggest football
So,
party in the year, come on.
It's a never ending story, you know, people are gonna keep on opening and. they're gonna
Well,
keep-
I still think we should do guerrilla warfare, but that's another story.
Oh, do tell.
Well, what you do is you file 15 or 20 code violations that are not real. And if you had about 100 people doing that, the county would just have a meltdown because it wouldn't have enough people.
Interesting.
Whose house are you gonna target?
So you send them to a house on the near in Boulder City, to a house, you know, on the other side of town?
Or to another STR owner that you
He doesn't like.
despise.
That
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't have to be that. Anyway,
Wow.
Well, I love that idea.
Yeah.
That's up Mike's alley.
Oh, my original house that I've had for this month, actually, I'm starting my 19th year.
Wow.
Wow.
My original house. And I've had on the house faces south, so I've got really good neighbors on the east side that are actually realtors, really nice people. And then the people on the west side, they're relatively new owners to that house. And oh my God, just so disrespectful. They went in and bought this house and just started tearing it up, added like 10 feet onto the back of the house, running power conduit on the side of the house, all down the side of the house to the back, transforming the garage. There's a courtyard out front that they enclosed,
Gotta be
all
unpermitted.
unpermitted. And my other neighbor across the street, I'd been pestering him. I said, you gotta call the county. I mean, they're stringing Romex wire out into the street, to straighten it out. And,
oh, to strip it?
oh, yeah, whatever they're doing. Oh, my God.
It's a bonfire waiting to happen.
And so the county finally came out and I guess wrote them up. So since that time, they've been relatively, I guess, low key, but there's people always coming and going in that house. They were parking in front of my house, 2 cars, and more than once I go over there and yelling and screaming, don't you park in front of my house? And then they park across the street in front of my other neighbor's house. There's always at least 4 cars there. Many times more.
311, they're selling drugs there.
No, they're older Chinese people.
Oh,
And they have multiple families and they're coming and going and they're cooking and now they have 2 little dogs that
I love little dogs.
go absolutely nuts and don't shut up.
What can you do? I have a question regarding that. I just took over a condo in the city of Las Vegas and I have a neighbor and the dog is barking and crying from 8 in the morning until probably 5 p.m. I called animal services, and I complained. They sent someone, they told me to 3 times and then they're gonna try to do some kind of, I don't know, how do you call it, mitigation or?
So you've called them 3 times?
I called them one, they told me to call me after 10 days again, if it's
Ah,
not
okay.
solved,
All right.
again after 10 days, and then, so I already called the second time, but I thought maybe one of you had any experience with that.
Call the HOA also.
Yeah, it's kind of, I don't know how strong is the HOA there.
I've called animal control about other dogs and it's just, they go, oh, we can't do anything. Nowadays they don't have the manpower, they can't.
Do nothing.
Yeah.
Have you
Yeah.
tried the little high frequency devices?
No, that's a good idea.
It's pretty effective.
Really?
Hmm.
So what, when he barks, he's gonna,
Don't get the battery ones, get the ones that you plug in.
wow.
And it's constantly on?
No, when they bark, it sets it off.
Oh,
And
And the humans can't hear it, only
Right.
dogs can, right?
oh, beautiful.
So would that work through a block wall? Do you think if I had one plugged in on the side of my house? You think that would
it
work?
might. We had a naughty
What the
neighbor
range
in
is,
my
or-
house that was catty corner. Dog barked incessantly. A nice neighbor. I mean, I like the neighbor, hey, your dog's annoying. Oh, yeah, that's what dogs do. I'm like, yeah, anyway. So I got a device that was battery operated, didn't really have any effect. And then I searched, where's the most nuclear, device I can find, And I plugged it in. I actually had to run extension from the corner of my pool house. Nailed it up there and bam, no more dogs.
Oh,
Worked
wow.
immediately.
Beautiful.
I need that device.
Yeah, I'll look for it.
Cool.
Yeah, let me know.
And then the dog died, then I took it down. I lost it.
Do you think the machine that you bought killed it? Is that why you took it down? So
Right out of my
so there's no evidence?
I wouldn't rule it out, but I'll get that to you.
Did you
Mike.
stop recording? Cause now there's evidence. against
Yeah,
you.
no, it wasn't. I don't think it died because of that.
Dogs eventually do go, but. Oh, these are two new dogs, relatively young dogs, and they're not gonna go anywhere soon. It's like the people are deaf, you know? It's like they just ignore it.
My mom's that way. I hate visiting my mom. She's got 3 little rat dogs that bark 24/7.
I think it's really like the little dogs that
It
do
is.
it a lot more.
Yeah, it is, because it's in their nature, because they're so little that they need to.
Yeah, they have little
feel
man
it's-
complex.
Yeah,
They have to like pretend that they're these big
right.
bully dogs when
That's
they're.
it. That's the way it is. That's the way they can protect themselves or act like they're protecting their owners.
Yeah.
You know, and it's, oh my God. And hey, don't get me wrong, I love dogs. I think you all saw my dog and. But little dogs that don't shut up and are annoying and piss people off,
I've been pissed on by small dogs.
and I wanna get my gun. It's like Tom Hanks.
I've all
That's it, it's my gun.
All kind of issues
What
with
was that?
dogs.
Turner and Hooch, you remember that?
Such a good movie.
Yeah.
All right, should we wrap this thing up?
Yeah, thanks
Okay.
for letting us have the meeting here.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks.
you.
I've always thought this was.
Anybody on Zoom have any questions? I had to.
So, you guys